Everyone's been talking about the new Terminal A at Newark Airport, and I recently departed from there, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to give you a walkthrough and really see what all the hype is about. So right away, you definitely notice how new and clean it is. Also how very open they have made it and bright, so there's a lot of windows, so that you actually have a positive feeling when you're walking into an airport terminal. This is the United Airlines customer service area here, right when you walk into the left, and I'm kind of moving away from. And I love that they put it right in the middle of the terminal because usually those are very hard to find. So it's in a central location. That way, if you have an issue with a flight being canceled or luggage or whatever it may be, it's very easy to find. And if you need to check in a bag, it is centrally located as well, right here to the right. Easy to find out in the open, and they do have the kiosks as well to do it electronically. And then here to the left is Premier Access for United. So if you have Premier Access, you can go to a whole private area to check in your bag. However, they do not have a Premier Access line here in the security as we're walking towards. So it's either TSA pre-checked or regular, so there's no line for Premier Access. Really what makes this terminal so much better is the technology that they have at the security line. So even though they don't have a separate line for Premier Access and they're putting everybody into the same line, it goes so much quicker and smoother because you do not have to take laptops or small electronics out of your bags. And that really does make a huge difference. Also, people are not screaming at you to take those things out. So the whole vibe was so much calmer and nicer. Newark Airport is notorious for having very tough TSA officers yelling at you as you're going through security line. It's very stressful. And even when you're entering sometimes the airport, the employees are stressed out and sometimes just downright rude because they're so stressed. They're trying to funnel people under those lines. There's a lot of people that they have to get through that airport. And I've been to a lot of different airports, and Newark Airport definitely gets the prize for having the most stressful environment. So this Terminal A was definitely a breath of fresh air, just having that openness, but also the much calmer vibe. Of course, they have a ton of different food options. So they definitely have figured that out, that people want to eat when they get to the airport because usually they're getting there early and they have maybe quite a long wait until their flight leaves. So you'll find all different options from grab and go to sit down. The ones I showed you there, they have like a little food court with Jersey Mike's and Italian and Mexican. So there's no shortage of food spots. One major difference that I noticed from Terminal A here to Terminal C, which is where I usually depart from, is there is not this focus on the drinking experience and bars. So in Terminal C, actually I'll show you some footage here, they have bars pretty much in the middle of the hallways, but they've really gotten away from that here at Terminal A. Of course, you can find bars, but I think it's probably because of all of the issues that they've had with drunk passengers. So they're really trying to get away from that, and that is not the focus. It almost looks like a mall. So the focus is shopping and eating. And then at the end of the terminal, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, they actually have a really cool spot for families with young kids. We actually had to buy earbuds because my son's broke right before we left, of course, and I was thinking they were going to be a fortune, but they were only $30, and usually they're $20 at Target or Walmart, so it wasn't too bad, but they have every single type of charger that you would need if that happens to you as well. They also had an Amazon Pay grab and go food kiosk, which I've actually never seen before, but basically you scan your credit card, or if you have Amazon Pay, you scan that, you go in, get whatever you need, and then you just walk out and it automatically charges you. So kind of scary, but it was great because I didn't have to wait in lines. It took me minutes. I was able to get some healthy things like grapes and cheese and a small sandwich and water without having to wait in long lines. One piece of advice I give you is if your gate assignment is all the way at the end like ours was, maybe don't go there right away because about 20 minutes after we had arrived and settled into our gate, they changed gates, which was happening to a lot of people. So I think they are still working at a lot of kinks at this terminal, even though it's been there, I think, almost a year. So then we had to go to the complete opposite side of the terminal. And if you're traveling with young kids or even someone elderly, that really could be a long haul. So maybe just sit somewhere centrally until you're getting closer and making sure that that gate is really where you are assigned. Now, one thing I think they do well at the terminal is that there are a lot of different seat options, and it seems like they're more comfortable seat options. For instance, they have these nice kind of little loungers, And then they have standing tables and sitting tables, and then they have regular seats as well. And there's so many plugs to be found. So they've really tackled that issue of people needing to charge their devices, because you can find them almost everywhere. One area I do not think they improved in, and I was kind of surprised about this, was the system they're using to line people up to get onto the plane. The gate areas seem a lot smaller, so now people are spilling over into the hallways, whereas the other terminals, they were kind of spreading out, probably because they want to fit more gates in. I guess that's probably the reason, but it definitely made navigating the hallways a little bit more claustrophobic. One area I couldn't wait to show you is at the very end of the terminal. So like I mentioned earlier, we walked all the way down here because originally this is where we were departing from. And it's kind of this circle area, but in this area, they have a play place for kids. So if you are a family traveling with kids, rambunctious kids, I definitely know what that is like. You can let them get some of that energy out before they are going to be stuck on the plane. And for us adults as well that need to get the energy out, they have these really cool stationary bikes with plugs to charge your device. I also found the new United Club Lounge, which just opened, I think, days before our departure day, which is located right across from gate A27, but you go up the stairs. It's $59 a person. It really didn't make sense for us because we didn't have a long wait until our flight left. But supposedly it's like 15,000 square feet. There's two sides to it, and it's brand new, and it does include drinks and food and all of that. So if you do have a long wait, or maybe you have a club pass, definitely check it out. If you need to park at Terminal A, they do have short-term parking. Now, long-term, I think, is still over in the other lots. You would park there and then take the AirTran over. However, I don't know if you know, I just found this out actually probably a year ago. If you schedule your parking ahead of time, you can get a discount. You can actually do that directly on their website. And that's basically all I have for you for the new Terminal A at Newark. If you've been there, if you have any thoughts, would love to know them. And for me, just the advanced security and the lower key vibe makes me want to depart from this airport. Even though the gates are a little bit smaller, I definitely prefer it over Terminal C. And if you're just finding us, 3 days and Tres Noches brings you real, honest, to the point travel tips and information about the destinations that we go to. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok.